Hi folks, this is your old pal Uncle Al. Grab your cup of coffee or a sip of water. Let me get my glasses. Okay, this is, let me check my notes, got a lot of notes here. This is a survival run, avoiding the homestead prepper, lesson 4. And this deal with corn, not grains. Grains is a separate one. You go see the earlier video, yesterday's video, and it tells you why. Corn. Okay? A lot of people don't understand it. They've seen too many movies or drive-by fields of corn and don't know what the hell's going on with it. All right? It is the simplest grain to produce. It is the simplest grain to grow. It is the simplest grain to harvest. Doesn't take rocket science. However, people screwed this up really bad. For a family of 4, okay, you need 2,640 square feet. Okay, that's more than the 1,200 of, instead of 2,000, 1,200 versus that. I think so, but I could have my numbers off again. Or is it 12,000? Either way, 12,000 or 1,200, that's a lot of square feet. Okay, please double check your figures because Uncle Alan's old and a little senile in the head. 2,640 square feet. Now, if you only have like a couple of rows or a little square, like Anthony, because he has a deer problem, you're doing it wrong. That won't feed your family and you only get a few ears of sweet corn. Okay, big difference. Again, it could be done by hand for feed or for food, but you have your choices are either Flint or Dent. Okay, and there's different ways to process it correctly. Once you harvest, each corn plant only produces 3 to 1 ear of corn. Usually it's 3, the average is 2, and so forth. If you're lucky, you get 4, but it's on hand 2 ears of corn or 3. And they have to be fed right. It has to be a high nitrogen rich soil with potassium in it. Nitrogen, potassium with some calcium in it. There are shallow roots, heavy feeders. A lot of people don't know this. So we only grow 2 rows of corn. Great, that only lasted about 2 days. Reality check, 2,000 square feet if you're going to feed a family of 4. Okay, so you got your corn. You picked out Flint or Dent. A lot of people says, I plant Indian corn. I plant popcorn. Then triple that amount. You're talking about 6,000 square feet, all right, in little plots all over your area. I don't think your neighbors will like you planting popcorn or Indian corn around their property. Okay? More exotic the corn is, more land you need. Okay, there's other types of corn, depending what varieties. I know about 130 different varieties, like the black corn. That's pure sugar. Okay, it makes a fine drink, but for anything else, it sucks. Then you have blue corn. Blue corn's great, produces great, works out fine in desert climates, but you need naturalization to soak it in lime to get rid of certain problems with it, or you can't digest it, and it's sometimes toxic for you. There's different ways to process corn, but the big thing is you harvest it, okay? You pluck the corn, you chop down the stalks, you use stalks for feed if it's still green, or dried as a building material or as a fuel. With harvesting corn, you have all this corn in the husk. You have to dry it out. So you need a corn crib or a corn hopper so it dries out. And everybody says, well, I'll just sun dry the corn out there. You see a mess of crows waiting on the table with little napkins around their necks going, yeah, dinner time. No, you need a corn crib or a corn basket or corn area so you can stash it. Your biggest enemy there is keeping it dry if you're in a moist climate. You ever seen the old corn cribs? If you live in Amish countries, I think they don't use it. They have the modern ones. But the old ones were wood and slats, and you have to watch out your biggest enemies, squirrels and rats. Or like we call it, wapake, little deer. Really good with, after they've been corn fed, you eat them because they ate your corn. People don't get it. So once you dry the corn, you have to husk them. So you peel off the dry husk, you have the dry corn. This is not a sweet corn or eating corn or yellow corn. This is made for drying. In the next video after this, I'm going to tell you a secret of mine, ground's dirty secret, and we're going to talk about grits and piole. Shh, don't tell anybody, okay? Now, you better have some kind of grinder, or you're going to end up with bad teeth like Uncle Al. Okay? You have to understand, if you want to eat corn, you have to grind it. You have a coarse grind, which makes a meal. You have a fine grind, makes corn flour, or maize in between. So you keep grinding this until you reach a point. Now you have to understand, corn has high sugar and carbohydrates. It was one of the favorite foods of the Americas. Okay, not a problem, easy to do, easy to process, not too many hard tools. You can put corn in a little, I forgot what they call it in Mexico. It's like a mortar and pestle, except you roll and you get the meal. It's a bitch trying it. I tried it for 2 days. Was not fun, folks. Or you can make hominy, which is boiled, soaked, and dried, some places. Yellow corn or dent corn after naturalization and all that stuff. Okay, processing. You have to understand there are different ways to process the corn. You need to understand naturalization, grinding. Also, if you have a hand grinder, there's the wheel, there's the metal crank one, and that little stone one, or pedal steering mortar, and you'll be at that for 40 days. I've seen a real one up in the foothills that the Indians use after they got corn, and they have holes all over these foothills when they do acorns or corn. Because always the corn leaves a weird little ring inside. I learned that from a park ranger. Okay? Now, on the West Coast, they did not have corn. East Coast and Central States, 50-50. And then you have a big black states. Then you have the Southwest to a point. And then you have the West Coast, which is God knows what. Okay? Now, so you're average prepsteader or homesteader or back to earth, you're going to understand it. And bees do not pollinate corn. I've seen a lot of gardening channels say, look at the bumblebees. No, they're just resting and picking up sugar. They do not pollinate corn plants. Corn plants works by wind or by drop. Okay? So, the corn tassels catch the pollen as you drop and drift it down. Of course, a lot of problems with this. Corn is easy genetically manipulated by the big corporations. So you have to be careful. You want to get a true or heritage breed, not a hybrid, not a genetically modified corn, or you get some weird results. Okay? Understand this. Corn is easy. Corn easy to grow. But also you end up with some weird stuff they've been doing with corn. Now, some of the hybrids, because Ngwan grows corn, grows fast and efficient. But unfortunately, some of them becomes mules. They're full of flavor, full of oil, full of everything else. But some of them are sterile. after first or second generation. And what you grow later comes out like, you see it like tall, and then short, and then dead. Okay? You want all green, tall plants. Okay? The trouble is with that kind of hybrid, it's a mule. Okay, it takes 2 strains to create that. It's a one shot. I have to explain this because people say, I'll just plant a row of corn to feed my starving family of 4. By the end of the corn season, they're children of the corn and you're roasting on a spit. Okay? You have to do it right. I've seen a lot of people like, I'm trying to get away and live off the land. Anthony, Palmetto prepared 2,000 square feet, Anthony, 2,640 square feet of corn to feed a family of 4. And if you're growing chickens, figure in another acre. Okay, because you have to combine that with the grains and a few other things. We'll get into the chicken part after I do the couple other things. We're going to talk in the chicken part, a year of eggs of meat on 65 square feet. And I'll show you how to do that in the next video. So you better wake up because Uncle Alan has 40 years of experience. A lot of you guys like, hey, I'm trying to get away and live back in basic like in the old days. You know why they died at 65 or 60? They're broken and bushed out like old Uncle Alan. I have so much body damage, it's not funny. Okay? Most people during the farming days didn't live to 102 or 140 going to casinos and stuff. Hell no. They died in their sleep in their 60s. So get that through your little head. And I'll catch you later. I'll see you later. Please check out the Vineyard Chicks tonight. I think it's 6 o'clock Pacific or 9 o'clock Eastern. So you go check them out. It's a great one. I sent them a nice box. I hope they got it. And also I sent them a nice card. So anyway, I hope either way they open one of those up. So I'll catch you later, folks.